What's up, guys? This is Mr. Dean for Brawlers Avenue, and we're here to talk about this PlayStation blog detailing Sonny Lee and his appearance in Double Dragon Gaiden. For those of you who are not aware, Sonny Lee is the third Lee brother, so to speak, who joined the twins in Double Dragon 3: The Sacred Stones. He only appeared in the arcade version, didn't appear in any of the ports, but he would later show up in Double Dragon 4 as an unlockable character. Now in that game and in Double Dragon 3, he pretty much had the same moves as the dragons, so there wasn't anything unique about him. In Double Dragon 4, he did have the fireball that the duplicate boss from Double Dragon 2, I believe it was, or Double Dragon NES had. And that is the only thing that really separated him from the twins in that game. But as you can see here, he has a design that utilizes the cover art of Double Dragon 3 Arcade, in which he had black, bluish, like navy bluish pants. But in this case, he actually has the yellow vest as he did in the sprites for that game and Double Dragon 4. Now, he also didn't have the name Lee. For quite a while, he was just called Sonny. This was prevalent both in Double Dragon 3 and Double Dragon 4, but later down the line he would show up in River City Girls 2 as a cameo, and that's where they finally labeled him as Sonny Lee. He also mentioned that he is the third Lee brother. Now they make fun of this because of the fact that, well, he hasn't shown up in any games outside of 3 and 4, and there really wasn't any backstory regarding him. But what's really funny about that appearance is that, you know, they're utilizing it here, even giving him a fighting style to boot with it. That being said, we're going to look into the article and talk about it as we go. Sacred Reunion DLC features 3 new playable characters, 2 new modes, online co-op, and more. The Lee family is reuniting once again to rid the streets of crime as Billy and Jimmy Lee's cousin, Sonny Lee, is joining Double Dragon Gaiden: Rise of the Dragons on April 4th. An unconventional fighter, Sonny thrashes his enemies with a flurry of punches and kicks to prove that he is just as powerful as his cousins. Now, this is an interesting tidbit because, as I said before, we didn't have any backstory in regard to who Sonny Lee is. And in River City Girls 2, which isn't canon to Double Dragon, he does mention that he is the third Lee brother. Now, in this case, we learned that he is actually their long-lost cousin. Now, we could jump through hoops and say that he didn't mean literal brother or any of that, but I'm just going to chalk it up to they worked with what they had when they brought him in as a cameo in River City Girls 2. And honestly, with it not being canon to Double Dragon anyway, it's better to just go with this interpretation. I actually prefer him to be their cousin anyway. There's a lot less questions to be asked when he's just a distant relative as opposed to being a brother. Moving on to the next thing. By the way, this trailer featured here is actually the trailer that was shown on the 15th. And this trailer shows off Renzao as the character instead of Sonny. Now, there's honestly the promotion of this DLC has been strange. Overall, there was a bit of a leak that happened. I won't talk about it because I want to respect the developers, and kind of for those who didn't catch it, right, or didn't see it or whatever, I would like to leave a little bit of mystery for you guys. Honestly, if you're a huge fan of Double Dragon, you can already pretty much guess who's on the roster. This is kind of a similar situation to Streets Rage 4, where honestly most people could already guess that Shiva, Max, and Estelle were DLC characters. But for those who are not in it, and whatever, I will be covering them as they reveal them. But they did reveal Renzao, and in this blog they're revealing Sonny. So we only got one more character to reveal after this. I don't know if they're gonna do a blog for that character. I would hope that they go back and maybe retroactively do a blog for Renzao so that we can get the details that we're getting in this article. But we'll see. Moving on to the next paragraph, though. First appearing in Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone, Sonny Lee joins Double Dragon Gaiden as part of the Free Sacred Reunion DLC coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, as well as other consoles. Sonny is a lazy distant cousin of the Lee brothers, but just like Billy and Jimmy, he has practiced the art Setsuken since he was young. However, Sonny has a hard time keeping up. He opts to give the ancient technique his own creative spin, and now wanders the streets to test the might of his new moves. Now, this is interesting that they talk about, him actually practicing Setsuken. It helps kind of detail why he had the same exact move set as the Lee brothers in both Double Dragon 3 and 4, which were his only playable versions. But it is kind of interesting, at least from what I've seen so far. He doesn't seem to have really anything from the moveset in this upcoming DLC. But we'll look into the details and talk about that in a moment. Also joining Sonny in the Sacred Reunion DLC is a secret assassin Renzao and one additional mystery fighter. Renzao is a mysterious young ninja from a secret organization known as the Secret Society of Ninjas. He has no stake in the fate of New York, but he is sent there by his organization to test his abilities. Along with the new characters, the Sacred Reunion DLC will also include survival mode, versus mode, and online co-op. Honestly, I'm definitely looking forward to the online co-op. I do want to play with everybody else. I'm hoping that the online is well put together. There's nothing worse than having net play that just isn't good. It just ends up being a total waste overall. And yeah, let's just hope that the online is good. I do look forward to playing the campaign with people. I will try the survival mode as well. I do want to see what they have. From the trailer that we were shown on the 15th, there seems to be brand new levels for the survival mode. I was really hoping that we were going to get some new levels in the campaign. Maybe they did add that, but it doesn't seem likely, as we didn't really see any new enemies in this DLC trailer. So it seems like those are probably going to be relegated to survival mode. It's the same thing as like the Ninja Turtles or Streets of Rage 4, where we got brand new levels in their survival mode as well. So honestly, this is just a common thing that we're going to probably see with beat 'em ups going forward. Getting these new modes, these survival modes and stuff like that with new stages and stuff. It's a more cost-effective way to add stages, stuff like that, without really having to put as much money into it as you would a full campaign. It is what it is. Versus mode, that's going to be interesting because we know that certain characters are extremely busted. Marion and Mysterious Warrior specifically. And it's going to be interesting trying to see, if some good players fight against each other and see what they can do with that. That's going to be interesting. As a fighter, Sonny distinguishes himself as a rushdown offensive warrior. He executes an action attack similar to a quick breakdance maneuver that travels a short distance and covers threats from all directions. Despite his Setsuken roots, we wanted to ensure that Sonny is his own character, and he is designed to play differently from Billy and Jimmy, with much more eccentric moves. His role as a familial outcast significantly influences his fighting style, resulting in a blend of showboating and non-traditional stances. Sonny's distinctive approach to combat reflects his individuality within the family dynamic, which gives him more depth and personality, allowing him to shine brighter in the game. Furthermore, our commitment to providing each character with a distinct fighting style facilitated the exploration and implementation of Sonny's unconventional techniques. This emphasis on uniqueness granted us the flexibility to fully develop Sonny's distinctive combat style, enhancing the overall gameplay experience. Yeah, so it's pretty much what I said. Like, his moveset isn't going to be as close to the other two dragons as far as referencing Setsuken. We have a view of his move list here, talking about his specials and his action attack. I'll get into the references that are used here, because as in Gaiden's awesome fashion, there are references to other Double Dragon games, canon or non-canon. He also has a gourd on the side here in the picture, but it looks like it didn't really make it into the game itself. Very likely because of how the rating system is for these games. You can't really make references to alcohol or smoking without getting a bump in the rating, so it's very likely they advised to kind of remove that from the sprites. For anybody that's wondering or even cares about any of that. Quick attacks, dodges, and unexpected movements are what drives Sonny's attacks. This includes the special move Feigning Dragon, where Sonny pretends to fall back while knocking enemies far away with a barrage of punches and kicks. This is a very quick aerial move that can be easily used to cause high damage from opposite directions. It can be used as a great combo ender, but the move makes Sonny vulnerable upon landing. And then you see it here in the GIF below. It barely shows it here, honestly. Like, you see him doing the move, as you can see up here from the moveless picture. You know, it's showing him. It shows him falling as if he's been hit with a special KO, but it's actually an attack. But you don't really see it being used as an attack here. He's actually just kind of doing it in the air, not really hitting anybody with it. But you can see that he ends it with a bit of a backhand at the end. Another special move of Sonny's is Dragon's Regret, which allows Sonny to dish out rapid punches. Activating this move allows Sonny to potentially travel across the screen while attacking, but if you hold the attack in the opposite direction when the move ends, you can deliver a final punch in the opposite direction. Dragon's Regret is a great combo starter and extension. Now, funny enough, you actually see Feigning Dragon actually being utilized as an attack in his GIF below here, before going into Dragon's Regret as well. Of course, both GIFs show Dragon's Regret here. Now, as I mentioned before, like I said, this is SP2. This attack is actually a reference to Cheng Fu from the Double Dragon Neo Geo fighting game. He actually has the same exact move. I don't think it ends with the double punch at the end, or maybe it does. But this is a reference to him in his drunken style, which I think is cool. It's cool that they utilize the character that Sonny wasn't in anything other than Double Dragon 3 and 4, so it's good that they're referencing characters that are not likely to actually appear in this game for obvious reasons. The last move we're going to talk about is the Sleeping Dragon. This is a quick jump kick followed by an elbow drop to knock down nearby enemies. Sleeping Dragon covers a large amount of ground and can be used as an anti-air attack and as a combo extension. And of course we see it here in this GIF here. It's a double kick and it ends with a falling sleeping move. So yeah, so while the double kick is also a reference to Cheng Fu from Double Dragon Neo Geo, I don't think the follow-up to it, where he bounces off the ground and goes into a sleeping state, I don't think that's part of Cheng Fu's moveset. I don't think so. I think this is just an extra thing that they added, which is pretty cool. Now the other thing that wasn't exactly mentioned here was the dodge attack here at the end. This was also referenced from Cheng Fu as well. I think it's one of his normals. Hits on both sides. And then of course, like if you look in the GIFs as well, he also has his breakdancing move, which I assume is a charging attack. It's probably It's probably something that you do while you're running. Celebrate the Lee boys getting the band back together when the Sacred Reunion DLC releases April 4th on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 as a free update to Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons. Yeah, the update's free as well, by the way, so if you already have the game, obviously this is going to be just an update for your game. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that we are getting this for free. I honestly would have paid for it myself. But yeah, Sonny Lee is coming to Double Dragon Gaiden. I'm very, my closing thoughts, you know, I'm very happy to see that, that he has his own style going for him. And honestly, with this being a prequel, you actually have the ability to open up to different things going forward. You know, we could theorize that later down the line he decides to learn more of Setsuskin, and that's why he actually has the has a similar moveset as the other dragons going forward. There's a lot of things you can do with that. As I said before, I do hope that they do a blog for Renzao as well. All we really got was a bit of a tidbit of his story, and then of course he was already featured in the trailer, so we at least got to see his moves in action. But I'd like something more detailed, like what we're getting here, showing us the move list, telling us what the moves do, how they work, if they make you vulnerable in certain areas, how you can use it in your combos, all that good stuff. Like, it'd be nice to kind of get information on that. But that's it for this video. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And also, let me know what you think of this new format. I figured this would be a great way to kind of put more content on the channel. I haven't had like a lot of time to play games, as I am working on a lot of stuff right now. I've just been kind of taking a bit of a break due to some real life stuff. But I figured this would be a great way to put more content on the channel and keep you guys up to date on what's going on. I am updating I am uploading the trailer that released on the 15th. It should go up today as well. And I'm also working on an in-depth article for this that's going to drop on the release day of the DLC. Got a little surprise at the end there for you as well, detailing a bit of my involvement in the DLC. I won't say yet. I want to wait until everything's been kind of cleared. But yeah, I will see you guys next time.
Beat 'em up to this. Beat 'em up. Beat 'em up. Beat 'em up to this. Beat 'em up to this. Beat 'em up to this.
Ready to start fighting?